All right. Good, Rico?
Yeah.
All right, Marty, Jerry, and Terry first. Thank you guys for holding it down when I was on Barca vs. America.
Yep.
2 days. I know why everyone's here. We usually have 200 viewers every day, and there's a lot more today. All right. I'm just gonna lay it out. What's from my side? I don't want anyone to feel bad for me. I don't want. I'm just gonna tell you what is going on. Myself and Rhea were both. Jesus Christ. Me and Rhea were in the same. We're in the same friend group, right? We're in the same friend group. We're both single, and at one point it did come to like, all right, we feel like there's vibes happening. We stopped it. Like we can't do this. We know the repercussion that's going to happen. Blah blah blah. Okay, we're still in the same friend group, and then at one point it just happened, and it was like I really like this girl. And to be honest, I would. What are you laughing at?
It's just no, not at that. Just Twitter.
Jesus Christ.
Finish.
I really like the girl, right? And sometimes you just can't help who you like. And so we were talking, and I just wanted to make sure it was a real thing before we said anything to anyone. About 3 weeks ago, Rhea, we talked, and we're like, hey, we got to tell, respectfully, we need to tell Hank. Rhea called Hank and talked and told him, like, hey, like, me and Marty are seeing each other. Like, we thought respectfully to tell you. Hank said, I have no problem with Marty. I have no problem with him at all. I have a problem with you. I have, and which is and with Rhea.
Now, just so everybody understands, how long did it take both you guys to say something to Hank?
Well, the thing is, so when we were talking and everything, right?
Yeah.
We didn't want to, like, we're not going to just be like, hey, this, like, we're being respectful. If it's not a real thing, just squash it, go back to being friends, whatever. It got real.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like her. And the thing, and then we're like, okay, now this is a thing. We need to tell Hank. The thing I could have done better is, like, I'm at the fault of I shouldn't. I understand it's his. Everyone has exes, and I understand Hank's a staple of his company, and I respect Hank. I have no, and I told him that I respect him, and I should have talked to him myself more. I thought that they had the relationship. I think that they should talk as well, as more than me, because he said he had no problem with me, and I guess I am dumb, and I could have talked to him more. That's one of my mistakes. I understand.
So you're saying you talked to him at all? Because that's where, like, I'm at.
So I texted him yesterday, but the way before it became public, Rhea called him, and when he said that he doesn't have a problem with me, I think I took it as like, okay, I don't need to.
I don't need his approval.
I don't think he wants to hear from me about dating his ex-girlfriend. Gotcha. Right. So, but I still think it's wrong.
All right. Yeah. I mean, that's
where I still should have called.
I've had those conversations. It's difficult. It sucks. I've seen those conversations kind of happen. Like, that's where it's at. I also think, like, the timeline of, like, being in such close quarters, like the whole Duke thing, traveling, like Wisconsin, like, I don't know. It's one of those, like, you owe it to have the conversation. That's
1,000%.
It's being an adult. Like, that's the biggest thing I take away.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's, like, where we want, and that's where I also didn't know if it's my place or Rhea's place to say it first. It wasn't my relationship with Hank. It was hers. And I also have to respect her. And I think she should be the first one to say it to him. I could have talked to him earlier. That is on me. And, hey, I respect Hank so much. I love working here. You all hated me anyway, but I didn't do this out of, like, this is not content. It's my life.
Yeah.
I kept it also quiet because there's things about your life you don't want on the internet.
1,000%.
There's things people don't want on the internet. I like having it's hard to have a life outside this company, and I did something that made me happy. I'm happy. And I'm sorry if I'm not going to apologize for being happy what I did. Yeah. And I understand the repercussions. We talked about it. We said we understand what's going to happen. And like Rhea's, I mean, I feel bad for her too. She's allowed to date someone else, and it's sometimes when you're in this world, you don't have much time to be hanging out in a different friend group. You know, it's just what happened. Things also happen here that people don't know, and it's like it's a huge company, and I don't know what else to say, and I do apologize. You can call me a scumbag. There's things that happen in life, and I wanted to face it today. I'm not going to hide, and I'm not going to tweet and just get killed either. Just
Yeah. So here's my take on it. And I was honest with
yeah,
you.
you were honest with me yesterday.
So I've only been here 7 months, and I know you and Hank the same amount of time. Now, do I hate anyone or hate you? I don't believe in like hate. You know what I mean? I don't hate. Am I like a little bit like taken back? Kind of in a way, but like I don't know Hank like that. But what I would say is what I said to you in the messages, and you could read them if you want. My take on it would have been this, and this is just my take. If she is like the girl for you and stuff like that, I think it should have waited till you no longer worked here.
Also, that wasn't our decision to get out.
Yeah, but you got to understand, if you guys are walking on the street holding hands or hugging or whatever, like we walk down the street to Five Guys and people ask us for pictures, so
Yeah.
You guys should have been like, oh, well, like if we're walking around in public holding hands, hugging somebody, I mean, you can't be that like.
Yeah, no, and I'm not mad at the person that, I mean, yeah, it's weird to do it, but like, I'm not mad. I was the one that, but the thing is, like, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, in a way, why couldn't you be like, if you really liked her and stuff and whatever, why couldn't you be like, hey, listen, for now, let's just be friends for now, and then, hey, listen, my contract's up in a year or 6 months.
I don't really I didn't want to leave Barstool. Like, I still love my job. I don't think that dating someone that, like, the thing you said, like, let's try and be friends, we did. Like, I tried that. When we didn't do it, like, we're like, hey, you know what? This is a lot. People are going to come after us. And then it just happened. And it's like, we couldn't, I can't help who I like. And I'm not going to hide from who I like. It's just my personal life, too. And again, and the one thing that people, I sat next to Hank. It's not like me and Hank aren't like the best of friends. Like, I don't hang out with Hank outside the office, but I respect him. I don't think that, like, I think there's more of a thing where it's like, that's your boy, where it's like, me and Hank have a work relationship. We sat next to each other. We didn't even hang out. Like, I hang out with you. I hang out with Dana. I hang out with Tommy, Clenny. Like, these are people I hang out with. And again, I didn't want this even for Hank too, because it's an impossible situation for him. And I don't think I said any lies there. And again, that's really the story. You want to call me a scumbag, you call me whatever you want. That's what happened.
How long was it going before she made the call?
So probably month and a half. So again, didn't want it to be like, hey, well, this is just like, it was just like a fling,
Right.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, we told him, and now it's like, now it's over, and then it's like, unless it was really real, which it is.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been my time frame, like a month of, like I said, I mean, I've had those conversations. I mean, you got to think of everything involved as well. Like you said, you're not the tightest of friends, but to the same aspect, it's not like I've seen former teammates end up marrying girls. You know what I mean? Like exes, like, but they have the conversation. That's where I lie. Like, I thought you had to have the conversation.
Like, the thing is, that's what people need to know.
When you don't eliminate, like, you don't work on this, you're not in the same group like that, so it is just work relationships. So that's even more the reason why you have to have the conversation.
Yeah, 1,000%.
In my opinion, that's where I'm at. And then obviously everything that comes out of it, like, like, you're around them every day. You had to know. You had to, like, with us, you know what I mean? Like, how'd you know? Like, just kind of the way you approached it yesterday, like, I left you alone. Like, everybody, you're going through the shit, you leave people, I mean, but the way, when you text me, you're like you got nothing. It's like, you got to give it to, you know what I mean? Like, whether it's as difficult as those conversations are, like, lay them out of, like, even if it's quick, like, hey, shit's gonna go down. Like this is where we're at. Like the same thing. Like I like her, whatever. It's get messy. Like all right, but it's when we're in the dark and we kind of have no idea what's going on.
I know my actions do.
Without a doubt, and I've been a horrific teammate here 1,000 times. But I do definitely am strong in my morals. That like, yeah, you fucked up. You gotta own it. Or those conversations, like the same thing. Like like I don't know, just work relationships. You want it to come from you. I think that's like an honorable thing, and it's difficult. Like the same thing. Like Carl was talking to last week. He's like, yo, I just want to hit you up. Like the Arietta news is breaking. I want you to just like know where we stand. Like I don't want you to hear it from anybody else. Is where it comes from. Same thing. Like, same reason. Like you don't just tell the assistant manager like when you're leaving. Like have it sucks. You have the conversation with the CEO. Like you tell everybody you're leaving. You don't just leave in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like that's.
And when we had the conversation when Rhea had it, don't mean we. When I say we is like I think that we talked about it. I was like we should tell him because this is where he deserves to come from you. You've dated. You have to tell him. And she told him. And I wish I didn't take it as because he was basically like I don't need to talk to like I was like because in the conversations like Marty wants to talk to you. He said, I'm more than happy to talk to him. I don't need to. And I still think I should have reached out more. That's where I think I went wrong. But the thing is, he didn't get blindsided by it, which I think...
Like, you think he had an idea it was going on?
No. I mean, like, yesterday. Like, when all the stuff happened.
He wasn't
like, holy fuck, what the fuck?
Because I think...
Because we told him.
In my opinion, I think, like, before that, I don't think he... Do you think he had an idea or no? No shot.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he did. But yeah, I mean, hey, with work, I understand people need to do whatever they need to do. I'm gonna still do my thing, and I'll see what happens.
Here's what I'll say is this. Now, Marty, we've had conversations in the past about how I felt. And I'm sure you can back me, how I felt about, like, work relationships, somebody, I'm not going to say no names, and neither will you, but, there was somebody in the office that would have wanted to maybe give me a blowjob or something. But, no, seriously, like, you know that.
Yeah, no, I'm just
and I just don't, what's so funny?
I'm just glad I'm married.
I don't believe in... that number one, I have a son and a girlfriend, and number two, I would never let myself get get another person involved that I work with in my business. You know what I mean? And do that in an office. So here's what I'm saying. I don't believe in kicking somebody when they're down because I've been down. I've been on the street and people walk past you and call you a junkie and it hurts, you know what I mean? So somebody being down and kicking them when they're down, I don't personally believe in it. This is what I'll say is, one, this business, Barstool, to me is, yes, it is a team business, but at the same time, you better believe it's every man for themselves in this business. This is my life now. This is your life. This is Rico's life. We have to prove to Dave, Dan, and Erica we belong here, and we need to grow, and so you have to understand, and I'm sure you understand, it will be very, very hard for us as a group to like continue doing this because this is
it looms over the show. No matter what, you could have 100 different it's going to loom over. That's not us quitting. That's not us bailing on you. That's not taking the easy road out. But
if you don't want to do the show, you don't have to. I'm telling you, I understand my actions.
It's something it just looms over it.
When I understand my actions do affect you. But again, you've been through something where it's your actions affected me.
1,000%.
And it's you just kind of have to, it's just whoever you are. If you want to stick by your guy, you stick by him or not. And I understand if you don't want to because it looms over you. I know you have a relationship with Hank. I don't. And I just think that, I know dating someone at work is not the smartest thing.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'm not an idiot. I thought about these things. And when it came down to it, I want to do what made me happy. And it legit makes me happy still today. So it's when this was all happening, and like everyone on the internet was like, "This guy's the worst person of all time."
Yeah.
I still knew who my friends are, who she is, and how my relationship was at. And it's like, all right, I'm just gonna have to get through it. If someone wants to, Dave, Dan, anyone that doesn't want to associate with me, I made that decision, and I tried to go about as best as I could. I could have done a lot better. But yeah, I don't apologize for what I did, but I do apologize for just like you got like, I understand what it does to people I work with.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, like, if, we continue to, do the show, or, like, I would never, like, walk past you and say, oh, I fucking hate that guy. Like, I don't believe in that. But for me, like, to continue doing the show, it's like, okay, now the world sees Jerry, hanging out with Marty, and it, like, it not only affects me, it ruins my brand. And it's just like I said before, this business, this is at the end of the day, this is every man for themselves, and I'll being honest, would I really lose sleep over Rico not getting renewed, or you not getting renewed? No, I would never lose sleep over that. Do I? You know
That's
what I mean?
a little crazy, yeah.
No,
That's
no,
fucked up, actually.
No, it's not. It's
It
because
is fucked up, Jerry, because like it's like this. What is a thing where it's like I understand. This is me dating someone.
Yes,
when
I
was,
understand.
Let me talk. When I was single, I'm single. She's single. To not lose sleep over a man losing his job, where you're like friends with him.
I didn't mean it like that.
It's fucked up.
What I mean is, at the end of the day, this job, like,
you always look
Barstool,
out for yourself. Yeah.
Yes, you have to look out for yourself.
But you just said if I lost my job,
No,
you wouldn't lose
I think
sleep.
I'll play mediator on that.
No,
it's
not
one of those where it's not gonna eat him up for months and months, where he's
Yes.
depressed and then he becomes a shell.
Well,
like
of
at a
course it's
certain
not
point,
Yes, that's what
it's
exactly.
like
Of course.
next man up. You do have to still perform.
I
I
understand
don't think
that.
it's
I didn't-
cold soul.
Yeah,
and I
like,
don't think
oh,
it's
fuck,
like
yeah, not like
who
that.
and like whatever, or like misery and like.
I'm not
who
saying
cares?
if I like
I
left.
get somewhere in the middle.
I'm not saying when I left, like you need to just cry and be
Right, right,
miserable.
right. So,
It's
yeah,
like it'd be
it's-
like, what the fuck?
but like,
But you think I should be fired? For
no,
this?
I listen. I don't believe in getting fired for stuff like that. That's just me. But like, I don't know, man. Like, for me, it's hard. It's like I said. This is us continuing this is like it wouldn't work, just because of like everything.
I'll say. I mean, listen. You could.
So you want? I just
two
want
major
just
points.
make it clear right now. I need to know. It's the day. Like nothing else with me.
I didn't say that.
You gotta tell me.
I mean, bench mob's in the off season. Like, we'll figure it out. But that goes, I guess, to my point. Like, two things. One, when the whole KFC thing happened, you can go back when the audio's gone, but you can go back and listen. Being older, like being where I'm from, like I also think like I didn't agree. I don't speak to Feidelberg, but he had a great point of like, just asking people how they're doing, which gets to my second point. But the one thing was also I kept saying like people on Reddit, like I think who are really, really, most of them are bad, thinking like if we found out who that girl was, what was the point? We're gonna ruin her life. Like to Jerry's point, I don't think you don't jump on the pile and everyone who keeps being like, tweet this, tweet about Hank, like take the easy road out. Like be calculated. You can be your own voice. I'm not taking the most convenient route. On the second point, and what you said, and 1,000%, I fucked up. But that was almost like shooting a gun, like throwing a can. Like it was a spur of the moment, like, and afterwards you're like, oh fuck, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah.
This, you had some time to figure out, all right, this is who I have to have a conversation with. Like, we're in it every day. Like, we fought for our lives to even keep Benchmark going. I guess just it's a conversation you could have had with us as well to, like, be like, hey, this is how it's going to go and this is where I feel. And then at that point, like, if I have a problem, it's on me. The same way, like, I go back, like, to Hank, like, if you put it in his court, however he feels is how he takes it. But I just think it's so much easier, that burden. It's like walking around, like, with a secret that you can't let out. You know what I mean? Like, once you do let it out, it is that relief of, like, yeah, it's easier. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You see it. Like, you see guys, it's the same thing, but, like, you see guys in the neighborhood who cheat on their wives, and it just looks like there's a fucking piano on their back.
But that's
you know what I mean?
where
Like, and they can't let that secret out.
No one cheated. That's
I'm not
the thing.
saying that.
No, but
I'm
we just
saying
need to
more
make
the
that,
weight. Like,
no, I'm saying for myself, we need to
you
make
had
it
time
clear
to have those conversations. So
where
that's
it's
where
like we were both single. They were broken up for a year. It's like not like it's just more. And I'm not saying that like it's completely right what I did. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm just telling you the facts, what happened. And if I didn't feel like this, I wouldn't go through this. I wouldn't have done this. But I really just, I'm sorry that I'm happy, and I would do it again. And I think we went about it. I think I went about it wrong. I think she went about it right. Yeah, I mean, you guys got anything to say?
I don't know. It's like I said. You're entitled to date.
Putting his shirt around his mouth. The guy's talks on every show. You don't have to say anything.
You can date anyone you want, but I do like in situations you have to know with like a working
I know
pulse that in certain spots, it's not just like you got to go through certain channels. Is the way I would say. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Like, and I thought I could have went through more people, but I thought he was the channel. You know, I thought Hank was the channel. I thought he was the one.
I just think anybody you would go to, like you're talking about higher ups, or like, I think anybody you would go to would pretty much give the same advice all the way around.
Yeah, but just like
hey,
the thing
like
is,
you work with this girl.
When
like,
we're in this world too, it's like you don't have off time. There's no, let's go fucking hang out with my friends from home, and it's like you're with each other 24/7 when you are working 24/7, and it's just like when things happen, and we made sure it wasn't this fling, and it was just like, okay, we're just like, we're getting along. I made sure it was real, and you know what, it is my life where I need to know the rest of my life I'm gonna be happy, and it's making me happy, so I did it. I'm not gonna apologize for being happy. I could have handled it a little better. Yeah, I mean, you can call me a scumbag, you call me whatever you want. Yeah, believe me, the whole office, I think I do have some friends here that would speak up for me that I'm not an asshole. I mean, you guys, I'm not sure.
You're not an asshole.
I mean,
nice
more like, that's
part of the reason too. Like you know, I just thought, yeah, you would have gone through it different, but everybody's entitled to their own thing, you know. So
yeah,
it's difference of opinions, like or I mean, how you approach life. There's life decisions I made that I'm sure you looking back, you could be like, I would have done that differently. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, this was. If you did care about the relationship, you did treat the relationship correctly, or you liked it, obviously, I think that you would have treated it like, all right, this is our first hurdle, and like you get through it. You know what I mean? But it kind of seemed like you know, whatever. I mean,
but the thing is, like
you went around the hurdle. You know what I mean? Like if
no,
you went
the thing
over it,
is,
I'd be like,
I
all right,
don't think we did go through. We because also Hank did say to another thing, like he was like, I'm not gonna talk about it. He was like, I would appreciate if you guys don't make this like a thing in my face. So that's another thing where I was like, okay, I'm not gonna tweet. I'm not gonna make an episode about it. I'm not gonna make this whole thing because I also know it's uncomfortable for him. He's the last person that wants this.
Agreed.
And I don't want it for him either. And that's where we have these conversations behind the scenes. And he said this. And yes, I should have reached out. I've said that 10 times. I know I should have. But he said he didn't want this. Like, he's like, if you guys don't talk about it, like, just don't talk about it. So that's another thing. Where
I think it got to the point where you know everybody, you know, you have to talk about. You know, I think it just got to that point very quick.
Now we had to.
Yeah, you know.
And it was just like we were doing it out of respect for some people, and then at one point it's like, all right, just gotta go head on. I came in and I'm not gonna hide from it. Tweeting something would have been dumb last night because I would have gotten. It just would have fueled people, and are people still calling me a scumbag?
I mean, of course. But like, is this it for the band? That's what people are really wondering. Like, is this?
Seems like it to them. I mean, it's okay.
I mean, it's just such a, like, you know how it is. It's gonna like I don't know. I mean, take a week. I don't know.
I would take a week, but if you don't want to,
it's, you know, like,
the thing is, I haven't changed as a person. That's also a thing. Where it's like,
I agree. I definitely agree with that. But it changes the show of like just how it's going.
Marty, I don't think you're a bad person. I think that you could have just handled it a little bit better, and I think that that's what we said. But you're not like an evil, malicious person. You didn't do it with like malicious intent to go against Hank or anything. I just think you could have handled it better, and I think that in like a year from now, this could be nothing. It could be hush-hush, but
Yeah, but
obviously it's going to be tough for the time being.
let me tell you, it's not a situation I know exactly how to handle. It's like
'cause you've never
you
been
guys
in it
like it's
before.
easier to say something like you could have handled it better. It's like if I fucking knew how to handle it better, that mean I'd be a scumbag because I've done this a lot. It's like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was right. When you're in that situation, you want to respect different people and how people are going to react, and I know how it's going to happen. And I do think, yes, you could handle every situation better. And I could have handled it better, but I think that if you know me as a person, you can make your decision. I understand if you think it's going to ruin yourself here. I'm still going to do my thing. And if you don't like me, it's sure. If you like me, I appreciate you. It's just like, you guys can make your own decision. I'm not going to put you on a spot now and be like, I'm not working with you again. I think we've all made mistakes. I don't think I made a mistake with who I'm dating. I think that I made a mistake of how I handled it, I guess. But we tried to do it through the proper channels. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll take some time off of the show, but I hope you guys know who I am as like a friend and not in Barstool world. This fucking world fucks with people's head. And it's fucked with mine a lot, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need a mental health break. It's just more like, yeah, it fucks with me. But
is there one thing I'll say is like, is there anything in the back of your head where like now this has happened and it's like, if you can go back, you wouldn't even like do it again. You'd say, nah, it's not happening.
no, if I could go through it again, I like the way I feel about her. I'm happy. So like it's like, and I'm not even just saying that to say it because it's just how I feel. I'd rather be happy than
what people think.
Care what people think. And I just hope it's more like I hope the people that I know here still like kind of have my back. I'm not saying they need to fucking go out publicly being like Team Marty. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. It's more like if you know how I am as a person behind the scenes, people have always said I'm a scumbag on the internet, and people always know that here usually that I am nice. I am a good friend, but if you don't want to, it's fine. Just see where it goes.
I feel like I have to bring this up. Hank just sent out a tweet just replying to what was going on the show. He said, I told Rhea about a month ago that my issue was pretty much entirely with her and what I felt were disrespectful actions towards me after dating for 4 years, but that I would have zero problem talking to Marty. He never reached out until yesterday morning.
Yeah, and I said that. I mean, everything I said is true. He said he had no problem with it, but I took it as he had no problem with me, and that's where I fucked up. So
Yeah, I mean, I think there's not like what can you do like in a situation like that for Hank? Like, you know, what is he gonna say? You know what I mean? Like he can't just be like, hey Marty, like don't date Rhea. Like he's gonna be like, all right, whatever, no problem, do your thing.
That's where I was like, why is he gonna want to talk to me more about it? Where it's like when he said that, and I could have called. I think I thought about it as myself. If someone called me about dating my ex-girlfriend, I wouldn't want to talk to them.
Well, on the flip side,
But that's
look
where I
at it
messed
this
up.
way: like one of your buddies is dating your sister, and you walk in the bar and they're together, and then that's how you find out. Like you don't have enough.
But
I mean, I'm not
he
putting words in his mouth.
but he didn't find out like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
We
But
called
I mean,
like you can't say a different situation. Like
Alright.
Rhea called him. Like he did not find out from the grapevine. He found out from the source.
Yeah, I mean that's how. Yeah, I got you. I just two people in it. I would have had. I mean, it sucks to have the two conversations. It would have
Yes,
been two conversations. If
should've-
it's one together, you approach them together and make it a little bit easier. This way, it's like
I should have reached
whatever.
out.
But that's
more.
the way I look at it. Like if somebody, I would want to find out like directly, because then it's, I don't know. It's just how it goes. Like I said, I've had those conversations. It sucks. It's part of getting older. Like it's growing up. Like I've also lived longer. You know what I mean? Like I've seen it all play out a million different ways. I just would have had the conversation and then, you know, just or at least let us know what's going on. You know what I mean? But that's like I said. You can go. It's like choose your own adventure book. You can go a million different ways. Broken road leads you to certain spots. That's how it goes. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that I told the truth about everything. I'm not hiding that. It's like we try to be respectful, and the mistake I made, I should have reached out more to him than just taking it as he's okay with me. because I knew he was mad at Rhea, and you know what? I told you it makes me happy. My relationship, and I wanted to keep it respectful to everyone, and it's where we're at.
Okay. So no. I just want to like everybody knows where I stand. I don't hate you as a person. You were like always super nice to me. You know, friends and stuff. You always, asked me how my day was and stuff like that. But for me, I just at this point, I'm not saying like, oh, maybe months down the line it changes, but for me, for my brand, Jersey Jerry, I think I just have to take a step back. And, the show for me is like, I don't think it matters if I'm here or not.
Let's be honest. The show is just like, we like doing it. It's not like where this is. And Jerry, I understand what you're saying completely. Like, if you don't want to be with me, I understand, but you gotta also feel how it feels, where it's like,
yes,
I understand. Like, you've done some things too, where it's like, I'm always gonna stick by my guy, but it's fine. If it's not, it's whatever.
I don't think it's a matter of sticking
of
by.
I think it's just the show, like the loose goose, like
this show
fucking around.
I
like,
don't care if
there's
this show
cloud
if
over
this show
it
goes
that
off.
changes the show.
Yeah, I don't think
This show needs a break.
The show needs
we can't just have a show tomorrow.
Would have been canceled.
Yeah.
Regardless of this.
Of course.
But I'm saying it's not about this show. I'm saying like you're off.
I'm not. I'll put it to you this way. And then make it as simple as possible. My first order of business is to take care of my girlfriend, my mother, my sister, and my son.
1,000%.
And I believe in that. And this is personal for me. This is and I'm not. I don't hate when other people succeed or anything. I root for everybody because a lot of people rooted for me when I was down. But for me, it's me first. It's about me first, and I'm just gonna take a step back from now. Am I gonna say, "Oh, Marty, I'll never talk to you again. I'll never say hi to you in the morning"? No, I'm not that type of person. I don't think I've ever been that type of person. But for me and my brand, like, I just have to take a step back, and that's it. And whether that changes in 4 months, 6 months, a year, whatever the case may be, it'll change. But from right now, I just think, for me, I just have to take one step back.
All right.
I have a question that I've thought about it over the years. If something bad has happened to someone in Barstool they needed, would you be open to the possibility of like a roast?
What does that mean?
Yeah, of course I would be.
Like,
I mean,
just,
that's
I've just noticed people like that want to like clean up, like they're going through some things and they just need to clean up their image maybe a little bit.
Okay,
like
gotcha.
a roast, like Donald Trump has it a roast.
Didn't see that coming, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure people can hate.
It might be the last show, so I decided to have my best producing day also.
No, I mean, like you said, I'm never gonna like completely cut you off. Like we also have to work. Like we're gonna go do a show on Pick Central in an hour. Like it's never gonna be a complete cut off. But like I said, the same way you could have had the conversation. Like we're gonna have to have a conversation. We gotta figure out where we're at. We're tied in with a lot of things, a lot of
which is
the
fine.
livelihood, like how the backing, how that all affects what's going on. Like just let the dust settle, and then we'll go figure out, what caused the fire or how to rebuild the house. Like that, I don't know. You need a little while. I'm not out.
That's
like I
fine.
said, we're gonna work together. It's just a matter of
It's just more,
you have to know that how it changes everything of what we did.
Yeah, I'm not an
put a lot of
idiot.
time
I
in.
understand that.
Yeah, I got you.
Things are gonna, but it's also like it's the hottest time it's gonna be. It's not gonna get bigger than this. You know what I mean? Like the fire's now.
Right.
The rest is just like people are gonna get used to it. And you know what? I told everything. I went about it the way I thought was the best. I told you I could have reached out more to him. I did nothing malicious. Like I wasn't being like, fuck him. Like I told you I respect him. We have a work relationship. I wasn't boys with him. It was just like we worked together. But yeah, I think that's. Anyone else got anything else?
Cody?
I had a good time producing this show. I appreciate you guys letting me be the producer.
Marty's always been a good friend to me. He's my guy, so I can't can't bail on one of my guys.
Yeah, it's like I said. I don't
That's
think
just
you're a bad
one
person.
thing
You're
though.
not a
Like
bad
I
person.
understand,
working with
I understand. Like you guys gotta look out for yourself. I didn't fucking kill someone. I dated someone that's single, which hurts a little bit to hear that you want to take a step back, and it's like, I do have friends here, and I understand your personal brand. It's just more.
I think
Like I didn't fucking kill someone.
Yeah, you didn't kill nobody. I agree with that.
And like I did something for myself too, where I looked out for myself. So I understand looking out for yourself, but I'm not saying you need to be. Let's go do 60 shows together.
For sure.
It's just more like. And I don't need to do this show. I like doing it because I'm friends with you too, and I think that you both are very funny. That's why I like doing this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
I just think
that's all
I think you'll understand. You know.
I do understand.
I think you do. Like.
I'm not freaking out because I
Yes.
understand.
I just feel like, you know, if you were in my shoes, let's say, you know, I tried for years to get into this company, and you know, I built a little bit of not saying a big brand, but you know, Jersey Jerry fans and stuff like that, and then you know, a part of me, you know, not that I really do care what people say, because I mean, people say hurtful things all the time, but when a majority of people that would disavow me and you know, people who have stake in this company look at you a different way, you know, it's like, hey, do I want to really take this route, or do I want to, you know, feed my family? You know what I mean? So it's just tough. It's just tough. You know.
You got the summer.
Guys, listen, I'm not thrilled about myself. I understand what I did.
What do you mean the summer?
Like he could take a step
Oh,
back.
oh,
like
okay.
it's not like he's in the mix of like football season and stuff.
yeah.
Like it's going like.
Yeah.
Look, just let
Listen,
it breathe a little
I'm
bit.
just gonna have to do whatever I can. I think that I have some value at the company, not a lot, but I think I have some. Whatever happens is gonna happen. I'm not gonna hide from it. I did it. I'm gonna lay in it. Whatever. So I told you all the facts. Told you everything. We were both single. I just think that out of respect from Hank, I should have told him more, but he didn't get blindsided by the news yesterday. He did know, so yeah, that's all I got. You guys good?
Yeah.
Good? All right, that's the show.
Peace, man.